Okay.
Finally,
Oh my gosh, finally. Jesus. The devil is busy. The devil is very busy.
oh,
Woo! Can you hear me okay?
yes,
Okay.
I hear.
Well, I wanted to start a little something because I relocated and I'm already missing home. So I was like praying about it. Like, how can I stay in touch with those athletes that I know from my home city of Fort Walton Beach? And like, kind of, even though I'm not there physically, like, I still wanted to like keep in touch with everybody. And so I just wanted to start something new and step out on faith. And uh, the name, the Athletic Exchange, came to me because I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. It just felt right. It felt right. So, welcome to the Athletic Exchange. You're my first guest. And so, everyone, this is Alexis Becker. And let everybody know what school you're at, what year you in, what sport you play, and your position.
I'm Alexis. I'm out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Went to Choctaw, Apache. I'm in my third academic year, but my second, um athletic year because I had an injury. And yeah, I go to Bryant Stratton. I'm in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Right.
Wow.
Dang, they got crazy names out here.
Yeah.
There's a Waukesha, but yeah, I'm
Not
out,
the Waukesha.
out here up north, way far from home.
Right. How is that feeling like being so far away?
Really, it's nothing that I ain't. Really, it was the same almost in Alabama. Like I was far from home, but still right there. But it really not about being far. It's more about the different scenery, like just being all the way across the country. That's really the crazy part to me.
Right, right. Oh, they're saying they can't see you, but they can hear you. But I can see you. Can you see
I would
me?
say you, I can see me.
Okay, I can see you too. All right, so let's get into it. Like, so what started you playing basketball? Like, what was the motive for that?
Um, really, I can't really pinpoint something exactly. I just remember I used to play soccer, and I used to and then one day I think I think I seen the Chris Paul, the 2013 Clippers. You know the Clippers?
Oh
They
yeah.
had Blake Griffin, they had DeAndre Jordan, they had Jamal Crawford. Like that was my favorite team ever.
Hmm.
And I remember taking the soccer ball that I used to play with and started dribbling in my garage with it. Like
Yeah.
Paul and Jamal Crawford, he got the handles. I just remember that. Really
Okay.
didn't have no goal
It,
out there dribbling.
okay, so you mentioned soccer too. Is that the only other sport you played?
Nah. So I always dabble. Like I was a lot of one and done's. Like I played soccer. I did track a year. I did softball a year. The only thing that really stuck was basketball. Obviously the passion but in high school and middle school I played flag football. Flag football was a close second. I really love that sport. I missed it a lot too.
Yeah.
Mm.
But what, so you picked basketball because you were more passionate about it? Because like when you get in high school, I guess you have to like venture off one way when you get higher up to where like when you know like what you really want to do. So you picked basketball because you were more passionate about it and you've been playing it for more years than flag.
I would say, yeah, I would never lose. I knew I'm more passionate about it, of course, and just I put in more time, so it seems like that was the route to take.
Right, right. All right. So you already said like kind of what made you go that route and why you loved it so much. So let's talk a little bit about you growing up. I know your fam a lot. I love them to death. Like they're amazing people, but a lot of people might not know that you're adopted. So, um, and I think that's a true blessing when somebody can like be selfless enough to take on a human being that's not really there. So, can you
Biggest,
speak on adoption and like how is growing up for you and then you finding out and like how did that affect you mentally or how did you see it? How did you view it?
I feel like I always knew that I was not at a time where like my folks got me down. I just always have known from
Mm-hmm.
my, but growing up, I can say truthfully, to be honest, that I wasn't as grateful as I should have been. Because of course I'm young, I'm small minded.
Yeah.
I can't really understand like how big of a blessing it really is. But now I'm getting older, now that I got older, I experience more and I see people, I can see that it's surreal, like how big of a blessing it really is. And I feel like the more people I meet and the more I get to know, like more I get to see people, I get to understand people that they've been through and the way that I was so sheltered and I was like truly saved, like truly
Mm-hmm.
from like the foster care system, or just having like one of those families where you see a lot of like traumatic stuff.
Yeah.
Really, I can say that I'm beyond grateful. It's hard to kind of show that in a way though, like there's nothing I can really say or do, but it definitely it doesn't go unnoticed nowadays.
Right. And I know they love you. I mean, more than anything, they love you and they've followed you and supported you throughout the years. So I know that they're your number one supporters and they'll do anything for you. So that adoption thing, that's just a word, because love isn't like described on being biological at all. So you're blessed. You're super blessed.
Thing I would say that really is a still struggle prior to today is like more about identity and like the curiosity that goes into it. Like
Yeah.
just learning more about my background or different parts of my culture, because I really I was raised by white people
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part, like
Caucasian.
so like trying to like pull everything that I am made of is that.
Right. And I know we talk all the time. So I know you mentioned eventually one day, like you want to adopt to like keep that going on. So I think that's a beautiful thing because it represents you. So you want to give back in that kind of way too. So I respect you for that.
Yeah, and I tell everybody I love, like, y'all, you gotta adopt somebody in my honor.
I know you told me and the middle name's going to be Alexis. So don't worry about it. All right. So let's get back to basketball. So, to those who haven't made it to college level yet or whatever. So like what was the biggest adjustment from high school to like college? Did you notice anything different as far as like the level of play, the competition, the quickness of it? Like what did you notice the most?
Say the biggest adjustment I had to make was more about knowing pace, knowing when to speed it up, when to slow it down, like more on a strategic level. In high school, it's really like the fastest team wins. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
the more you get, the more whatever. But more in college is about fundamentals, about taking it steady. Sometimes knowing when to speed it up, and a lot about the fundamentals. Like, I'm one of those fancy players, everybody know, really, but so knowing like when to turn it on and when to turn it off, like jump stop and just go up, like that's what I
Mm-hmm.
thought in my first 2 years. So just
Yeah.
yeah, just more strategic play, I would say.
I think that because I've coached you before. I know I've said multiple times, know when and when not to, but I guess you don't really understand until like you have to put it into action and really know what you're doing it for. So I'm glad that you learned something from it and you're trying to put that into play.
Of course, it would have been better if I would have listened early on, but
But it's hard. I mean, it's hard. All right. So you mentioned that it's your third season academically and your second season playing sports. So, because of your injury. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like like, first of all, tell us what the injury was, and then how has that affected your mental? Because that was a big thing. You were considering not even, sitting out a year, not playing, this year or whatever. So can you just elaborate on that? How, like, what was the injury and
I
how did it affect you?
I ended up tearing my ACL and both my meniscus, my lateral and medial. So basically, almost the whole
Oof,
knee.
dang.
Honestly, I thought at first that of course the worst thing that ever happened to me, just all in my head about it. But eventually, as time went on, you got to look at setbacks more as redirection. I understand.
Speak a word. Speak a word.
So it's not that, oh, this hindered me from doing this, but this made me step back and be like, who do I want to be? Is this all I am? Because I was one of those athletes where I just invested all my time into my sport. Like that was, I wake
Right.
up basketball. What am I gonna do for basketball? Oh, I got something. Oh, I'm gonna eat. Wow, I gotta eat so I can perform for basketball. everything just surrounded it, and I had to just redirect myself, like personally, mentally, spiritually. I had to bring back God in my life because I had lost him.
Yeah.
And it just opened my mind to the kind of person that I want to be truly.
Right. And I saw that a lot on your documentary that you had. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Like the work that the girl put in, like she did that. And just to see a different side of you being so real and raw and transparent and tapping into other things that you might not have, put on display, like because you were doing poetry, you were speaking real words. I'm like, this girl is so mature, but having that injury really did have to like set you back because it's like all you think about when you play sports is just that sport. That's all you think about is whatever sport you're in. You don't think about life outside of that. And so you really had to tap into like, what do I like to do? What are my hobbies outside of basketball? Like, what will I do if I'm not able to play basketball? So it's just like the injury, it really did hurt my heart. And I know it hurt you to death, but it really matured you in so many different ways. And I'm just really proud of you because you helped me when I get down or whatever, like I get down, but you were just like taking different perspectives and really just tapping into like your emotions and your feelings. And I was just really like, this girl is going to be something. So y'all remember this name, Alexis Becker. She is a beautiful soul. You're a beautiful soul. I'm not lying.
And it's just like, it's beautiful to see like the people that have known me before and after, like, it's a big difference, like truly change. Just even emotion, like before Alexis heartless, Alexis closed off. She cold, but no, I don't want to be like that no more, to be honest.
I know. And like I said, we talk often and you say you're working on yourself. And from the injury until now, give yourself some grace because you've really locked into different levels of life. And you're so young, but it's just so different. And I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
So let's move on. So over the years, you're a point guard or whatever. So leadership is just a quality that you have to have. Like, for you, was that natural or like what is leadership to you and how did that come about? Because, coaching you, I had to say, you're that smiler through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You always want to smile. So that leadership role, like you wasn't really tapped in, like you should, like you always talk and stuff, but you didn't really tap into that. Really, to me, I started noticing a lot in high school. Like you ran your team. So where did that come from?
I feel like it always came more natural on the demonstrative end. Like I never was a big talker. Like I know I never was like a vocal leader until I like in high school where I had to really like put people in line and like orchestrate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been a leader by example, at least. Like you can look to me because I think that's how my mom raised me. She raised me very disciplined and with integrity. Like you need to do the right thing even when nobody's looking. And I feel like I've always demonstrated that from her. Like you can look to me and I'm putting in the work, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. But then once I got in high school and I understood like I accepted the role, I knew I had to like be more vocal about it, and then yeah, that's really what it was about.
So in high school, y'all had a young team,
Mm-hmm.
and you was always the oldest, so you really had to like be that by example and vocally.
That, and I just think more of like the passion in as well. Like once I really like locked in, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to like. This is what the path I want to go into. Yeah. It's like, okay, you need to be more. What you say? Be more intentional with how you.
Ooh, that's my word. That's my word. Yes.
That's really the motto of the year for real.
Yeah. And then as a point guard, you got to be that coach on the court. So it has to be in you to be that position. Like it's going to be forced no matter, what level. You're going to have to be that person to, like you said, direct and stuff like that. So was it the same in college? Like were you that leader on your college team?
I mean, I only got to play my freshman year.
That's right.
So it was different because I came in as a freshman. There's already so many sophomores on the team. But again, I think I still led by example. Like, I always had good work ethic, and I think people always notice that. But it's like taking charge, being that floor general. I was on my sophomore year. We had talked about it before. I was so ready to come in and be like floor general for everybody. I mean, obviously, God sent me back, but again, I'm about to come into this year, and I'm ready. I'm ready to accept that role as well.
Yes, and I'm ready to watch it because that last season was going to be that season. You was working hard. We was in that gym.
I already know.
All right, so with the injury, we had set out a goal like that. We started the process of trying to get you recruited super late because, schools do it like the year before and all that kind of stuff. So, you got me out here sending emails to different coaches, like it got to be over 100 schools we did. And I don't regret that at all. Like, you really helped me tap into something else with that too. But with that, like, we got a lot of responses that was like, we like her film, but we need somebody to play right now, or we've already recruited for her position. So we just kept on getting these like denials, but like we were gonna keep on going. So when we were in that process, how did that make you feel? Like, were you stressed out? Did you want to go back to thinking that I want to sit out a year? Like, where did that take you?
Honestly, my mind, it was so chaotic during that time because I was dealing with the end, dealing with where I go, like just a lot of unanswered questions, and honestly, my anxiety was crazy during that time. Like, I had anxiety, just not knowing is really what it stems from. But it also, again, it just was redirection. I understood that this anxiety, I got to give it to God, because at the end of the day, it's all gonna work out. Really, it might not be how you pictured it. It might not be what you see, but at the end of the day, it really all works out at the end of the day.
It really does.
And I had to be more grateful of what I did have. Like, I was alive. I was well. I was on the come up of recovering. Like, you gotta be grateful for the little things.
That's what I'm saying, that maturity and that perspective, like your perspective changed because you could have been down and out, just like giving up. But you knew, like, with the recovery, you were going to get back to where you wanted to be. And that's where, like, that mental, though, when you're injured, that mental game got to be so strong, because that's what holds people back. Not that you're not 100%, you can't do it, but it's that mental game that really you got to be locked into and continue to grow in that journey. So it was stressful for me too, because you kept asking me, like, have you heard back? Have you heard back? And I'm like, yeah, but they already got somebody, and they want somebody right now. So there's not really anything I can do. And I know that, you don't want to settle, because, you had another year of community college eligibility. So I'm so happy that, you didn't rush into just settling for it. Because we did get some offers. We did. But I'm glad that you didn't settle on just going anywhere, but just because you wanted to keep playing. Like, you really did have to pray about it and take the right route for you. And so, speaking of that, you had another guy that hooked you up with the college coach from where you are right now. So speak a little bit on that, and how did you feel like that was home for you?
I can give you these reasons. Like, the guy that hit me up, he's a great guy. Like, he's somebody, he came here first, and he's somebody that I can rely on. Like, he was telling me the truth about the place, made me feel good about it. And the coach made me feel wanted in the environment. And that all is true. And that's what I tell people when they ask me. But in reality, it's really that feeling, like that intuition, like that no, that no, like, it was like God was speaking to me almost, like.
Yeah.
And that's really the truth behind, like, it really was just like, yeah, the first phone call was really like, yeah, I'm going. Like,
yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of people kept asking me, like, what is this school and why is she going there? I was like, this is where she felt home. Like, this is what made her feel comfortable. And nobody can't feel that except for you, because you got to walk in those shoes, and, hopefully whatever they were telling you is going to come to fruition, and it's going to happen to where, you get to play and all this kind of stuff. But I know you got to do stuff on your end as well. But I'm glad that you made the decision for yourself, and nobody can deny you of what you feel. So I'm glad that that worked out. And I mean, we hope in November 1st we get back on that court.
I mean, process though, a lot of people didn't like my mom. My mom didn't want me to go across the country
Yeah.
or my family. It's a long way to go, but I had to just go with my gut, really.
Right. And speaking of that, like you took a chance to go another year of community college.
Yeah, that's
You know, so that was a big decision for you to make on your own and like be like, well, do I really need to take this route? But
because
sometimes
that's
yeah.
like, yeah, for third year, you know.
You are older than your teammates.
Yeah,
Y'all love to call me old. Now you old.
which is at the same time, it's just the route I had to take.
That's
You know?
it. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna pay off because you got that workout ethic and you got the support. So I know it will. All right. So I know we've been talking about basketball, but you know the ultimate goal is getting that degree. So let's talk about what do you want to get your degree in, and what job will come from that.
So I do want to get into kinesiology,
Mm-hmm.
just so it's a general horizon where I can go into more stuff, because kinesiology is the bodily movement, so you can get like, I can go into physical therapy, I can be a personal trainer, I can do sports therapy, you know, all that. I think I can become an athletic trainer, all with more certifications.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, I want to be a physical therapist. I want to be a person, like I want to dabble. One thing about me is I like to stay, like, do a lot of things, so there's multiple things I want to,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm hoping I can do it, but yeah.
Yeah, and don't let nobody get in your ear tell you you can't, because you can. There's no timeline on nothing. You know, you learn that as you go, but just keep that focus. And I mean, you always had a high standard in the classroom. Like you always made good grades. So athletes out there, you can be pretty, you can play a sport, and you can be smart. So don't forget that, because people want to like act like they want to be dumb. No, you can't even play nothing if you know don't have the smarts. So you got to have it all around,
And
all around.
I like to learn, and I like the fitness area, and I also would probably be a coach one day, of course, because I just love the sport so much.
Oh yeah, gotta be, gotta
Coach
be a Coach B. Oh what? Coach B the second.
Becker.
Yes. All right. So who's your favorite player and why?
So I had talked about it, yeah, in the beginning. Chris Paul is really like, I feel like he's the one that opened my mind to the basketball stuff. But really though, because the 2013 Clippers, like Jamal Crawford, like you know who that is. That's really he goes unnoticed. Not a lot of people know who that is, but he's one of the toughest ball players that ever played in NBA.
Yeah.
Him and Jamal Crawford and Chris Paul, they right there neck and neck.
I can see your game as Chris Paul, like for sure.
You know, like the little fancy stuff. That's where I be getting it from.
And the pull-ups, yes. People don't like give him credit for his shooting. He can shoot.
It's just a
All right.
solid player. That's why I respect this solid player.
Right, right. All right, so we're winding down a little bit. So I'll just end with um, what advice do you have for young athletes out here that want to play sports in college on any level? Like you could, you know, a lot of athletes speak about D1, but some of them don't work out to be D1 athletes. So like get the mindset right of reality. Like what does it take?
The reality, I mean, I'm not D1 myself, which I hope I am real soon. But
Speak
I
it.
I can always say, even if I don't get to where I plan on, I can. There's not a doubt in my mind that anybody can tell me that I didn't put in the work. I didn't put the work ethic in to get it. Like I didn't. Nobody can say I wasn't good enough. They may say I didn't know as many people, or I didn't have as many opportunities. But you could never. I feel like no one can ever tell me that I didn't put in the work to get to there.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't for me, or maybe it wasn't in God's plan for me to do that. But at the end of the day, I know I put in my work. I know I put in my extra time. I know I had the grades. Like, I think that's what the stuff, just integrity. Like, you got to have integrity.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a witness to that too. Like you definitely put in the work. every day. I remember somebody, John Barnes said that he saw you just running out, you know, in the mornings by yourself. You know, that's just that different level. You got your foot on the gas pedal because you know what you want. You have standards, and so that's what these kids need to hear, that you can't be in the house just on your phone or just playing the game. You got to be outside getting the work, whether it's skill work or playing. Like, you got to put in time to what you want time for.
And it got to the point where, like, it wasn't even about discipline or like, oh, I got to get right. It's more about like, that was my lifestyle. Like, this is what I want to do. So it just became like it just came like my everyday life. Like, even to this day still, like, you just got to put in your work. Like, it's like a job if this is what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're
But
right, Miss Catherine. Everybody's path is
it
different.
all depends on your passion. Like, I love the sport. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
make to say that it's my job and stuff like that.
So that's your ending advice to the kids.
Yeah, just work, just work at discipline. 'Cause at the end of the day, and it's self-discipline, because nobody's gonna force you to get up out of bed.
Oh, right.
Nobody ever forced me to work out, whatever. My folks, they weren't, because I know some parents, they were coaches or they was involved in the sports world. My parents, nobody was gonna tell me to get up and go run.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was gonna get in that extra workout. Like, I had to do it all myself.
Yeah. I respect it. Well, I think you have any closing words? That's it? You good? What you got to say?
Goals. You didn't.
Oh yeah, my bad. Okay, what's your goals for this year and your future? My bad.
I wanted to talk about it.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Just my goals for my future, for myself, my goals for sports. At the end of the day, like you said, I'm maturing and I'm doing all this, working on myself. And my main goal for myself is to just be an advocate for love.
Mm-hmm.
And telling a lot of people lately, like, you got to be loved to receive love. And I think, and God, who is love? God is love. Love is God. Like, it all just falls into place. Because not only do I want to be it, because that's what God wants us to do, but that's what the world needs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If really, really, my shirt says it too.
More love.
For love. And on top of that, my goals are to just continue my work ethic, continue to be disciplined, and hopefully that the right opportunities fall into my lap if I keep working like I know I should be.
And stay hungry. Stay
Mm-hmm.
hungry and humble. Okay, we take it before we get off. We keep talking about God. Let's tap into that real quick. Like, how big is religion to you? Because God is like the head of my life. So how has God really impacted you having a relationship with him? And when did that start?
I grew up in a church. Like, my grandparents, they always took us whenever I was younger, like every Sunday. So I grew up he's always had a path in my life, but it didn't come to like recent. Like, I'll be on and off, to be honest, with my relationship, because you're young, you got a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't a priority, but it wasn't until recent, really, with my injury, that really opened my mind to tether him to my everyday life. I would say, like, even on the court, even when I'm talking to people, like saying hi to people, like just being love, like just expressing. So I would say yeah, recently I really tapped in, because and I've been getting a lot, like, because I want to be more adventurous and like helping people, and like, again, being the advocate for love. And the way society is now, like, that, it could eat me alive being like that. I could really, but I think that's the risk I want to take nowadays. I really want to put my heart on the front line.
Yeah. I respect that, because especially like younger adults, younger kids, they don't really want to speak out about God. So I respect you, first of all, for doing that. And I know that you incorporate him into your sports world as well. Like, you pray before your games and all that kind of stuff. So I just commend you for being able to speak out on God, because God is love. And once you know that, then you can't be defeated in no kind of way.
And like, it ties in with leadership. It ties in being a good teammate. Like, all the principles that God wants us to be, if you put that into your leadership, I know I can be a great leader for my team. I know I can be a great teammate. Just like I'm fearless. I can be selfless. So I just know, yeah, it all gonna come together.
It will. It will. Well, I just want to thank Alexis. I want to thank you for, coming on here. You're my first exchange. Thank you all for who watched. This gonna go on YouTube. So when it does go on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I want to end with love your neighbor as yourself, and don't forget to love you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Be easy.
I love you.
This is called the Athletic Exchange. My bad. I forgot to say that. The Athletic Exchange is something new that I'm venturing into. So I hope every Sunday I can get somebody on here, and it just continues to grow. So y'all pray for me, and I'll pray for you.
Remember it, y'all.
All right.